Very Papega. I mean, your team. We're just gonna jump right into it. By the way, I'm not even. Intros are for people with actual good communication skills.
Sure.
But I guess on that note, we can talk about last year's team going undefeated for the entire regular season, and then falling a little bit short in the finals. Um, let's step to right before the finals. Actually, like the week before. Were you guys like super confident going into the games that week?
One of us was, the rest of us were not, because our games had not been stomps at all. If you watch our series against Target, it came really, really close to us losing both games. The same thing happened next week. The same thing happened when we played your team. We didn't stomp any of our matchups except for, I think we stomped one against one of the really low ranked teams. But no, we did not. We're not that confident.
So you're kind of saying it just so happened that you ended up undefeated, pretty much.
We just generally had the superior late game, I felt like, call wise. And I mean, any game is winnable if the enemy cores die without buyback, and we were good at that. But we did not run over teams by being massively above them in mechanical skill or anything.
Just better team play in general, you think?
Yeah, I think that's what carried us for the first 16 games, and then not through the last.
Yeah, and then just last two, I guess it kind of falls apart, is what you're saying. Like Badger just kind of outplayed you guys.
I don't. Well, I mean, I've said this before. My honest opinion is that if you have one team playing as five people making suboptimal calls, and then one team playing as a bunch of individuals, even if their calls are better, if they're not playing as a team, I think they're going to lose 9 times out of 10. And Badger's team played as a complete unit, and my calls were questioned like at really critical moments. And then game two was just, I think, we had never been defeated before, and a couple of our players got more than a little bit tilted, and that was game. It was a foregone conclusion, I think.
Mm. Is there anything you can take away from last season that you learned?
Pissman is an interesting player, if nothing else. I drafted him again. I don't know if you saw,
Yeah.
but he's the weirdest player because if I leave him to his own devices, he will genuinely do nothing. But if I actually micro him, he will listen to me better than a unit I'm microing myself in. He will just do exactly what I want if I just tell him what to do, which is which is an interesting thing to find in this league, because usually the main problems are people just ignore calls. That's my main takeaway, is that some of my teammates were very good, and we just didn't come together in the end like we needed to as fast.
Mm-hmm. So, I guess, sort of, do you see any similarities between this season's team and last season's, other than obviously the repeating player?
Oh no, it's a total flip. Last season our mid was sort. I wouldn't say Abomination was a bad mid, but he's not a mid player. Uh, all our eggs were in. All right, let's make the game last at least 35 minutes, and then hope Nara does his thing. So that was the thing last season. This season we have our safe lane is definitely our weakest lane if you're just going based on raw MMR, but uh our mid and off lane are, I mean, our off lane is exactly as strong as last season. It's the same two players, but our mid is a much more active player in MX Squad,
Mm-hmm.
except for when I pick him Invoker.
Those two. So you are keeping sort of the same strat with the same off lane. Do you plan to like sort of play a lot of similar heroes, like pick this Night Stalker hero again and again, which I thought was one of your strongest heroes from last season, even though I think you disagreed when I told you that like 3 months ago?
Well, he got he got one buff that didn't matter, and then one buff that made the first buff matter a lot since then, to be fair. I think because the ags didn't really matter until they made his Q do full damage during the day, which is huge. Yeah, I feel like Night Stalker. I still genuinely think it's overvalued by people. I think it's much better in pubs, and CDL is on a scale of pub to TI, it's on the pub side for sure.
Oh yeah, it's hard to compare games to TI from CDL, but
Yeah, I don't think the hero would be that broken in his current state if you like shoved him in the international, because he has some very unplayable counters in my opinion. Like Naga Siren is, as I knew it was a counter when you guys picked Naga against me, but I didn't realize how bad of a counter it was until that game. I'm very surprised we won.
mhm.
Uh, but mostly, I'm especially in Scrim Week, I pick heroes that I like playing, even if I think they're really bad. I'm not picking Magnus in a game where the record counts. I can tell you that much. I think he's ultra bad right now, especially for me. I just like to play melee strength initiators, so yeah, I'll be playing mostly the same melee strength initiators.
And do you like calling shots from the off lane, or do you mostly give that role to some of the other players on your team?
I don't like it, but I've grown. I've accepted the fact that I have because nobody else does.
So you're the talkative one on most of your teams, then.
Yeah, I talk a lot when I play anyway, so it's I guess it's also better if what I'm saying is actually productive instead of just joking around the whole. So I started shot calling on I think my season 14 RD2L team.
Okay.
When I mean somebody had to do it.
Okay. So we could start stepping through your players. I mean, a lot of these for you, I think, are really familiar names. I think you're literally playing with Maguire and Turtle King and Pissman in like 3 different leagues right now, or something like that. Ridiculous.
Not Pissman because old Guami 1K does not like Pissman. But yeah, I'm playing with the other two. I was also playing with Nara. The team is US Guam, me, MX Squire, Turtle King, and Nara. So I was doing the same with Nara. But yeah, it is Turtle King and Mike, and then Onagu pubs with us. He's in the same Discord server that team's run on. We play quite a bit, and then Pissman is just friend pick.
So that's probably a pretty big advantage going into this CDL season, right? Like you've already played. It seems like you played a decent amount with Turtle King. Maguire is the same way, and again Pissman for the whole season. Do you think that's a big advantage going into season 3?
Mm, it's definitely an advantage because I know how to carry Mike, but that'd be MX Squire. But it's not as big of an advantage as you'd think because on our team, our pre-made team, Toxic Tacos, it's the same strategy we had in CDL, which is get the game to go past this point, and then Nara will do his job and win. But that's not really the strat here at all. If anything, the strat is to make sure that our mid has a good game. So, like, we're friends, and we're not going to get tilted if a game goes poorly. So that's a huge advantage. I don't think we were tilted at all going into game 2, even after we lost game 1 in the scrim week. So it is an advantage, but I don't think it's as big of an advantage because the team dynamic is completely inverted.
Mm-hmm. And let me just clarify your bid order really quick. It was Maguire, and then Turtle King, and then Pissman and Oegu.
Yeah, Onagu. I nominated him, and Badger said, if no one bids on him, you're stuck with him. Then I bid 67 on him. Like, oh, I guess we want him.
Okay, so we'll start at the beginning. Maguire, you did not nominate, right?
No. However, well, that was because there's no nominations for like the first 20.
Oh yeah, true. I forgot about that part.
I had a blood contract with him, and that was I have to draft him. No matter how high the price went, I had to draft him. That was the agreement.
So you are very lucky nobody else heard about this agreement then.
Oh yeah, I mean it was very secret. But here is the reason I did that. It's because I get Turtle King because he's not going to captain if I'm picking him. So then I get to have Turtle King on my team. Turtle King is, in my opinion, a pretty value pick if you if you just get him like based on his MMR because he's really used to playing around high MMR players because he's Ancient 7, but he's played on a lot of Divine Average teams.
Is there a reason you made a blood deal with Maguire for this season, or just you wanted to play with him?
It's because he won the coin flip on which of us gets to pick Turtle King. So I offered an alternative where, okay, what if I promise a blood contract where if I don't fulfill it, we both die in real life? I'll draft you, but then I also get to draft Turtle King because you're not captaining. And that's not what
Okay.
happened.
That may or may not be illegal. I'm pretty sure suicide pacts are legal or illegal. So
Oh, it wasn't a suicide pact. It was a blood contract. You see,
that's the same thing,
nah,
pretty
it's
much.
magic. We wouldn't have killed ourselves. The contract would have killed us. Don't you understand? Did you never watch Harry Potter?
So you, I
It's
mean,
an
yeah, but I
unbreakable
think
promise.
somebody kills them. You still had to involve a third party.
You might actually be right. It's been a while.
Okay,
Point
well,
is, I had to draft MXY no matter what, so I could get Turtle King.
so you fucked up the plug deal. I'm pretty sure you're supposed to shake hands after like cutting your palms or something too. But
Toads don't have hands, unfortunately.
damn. But that led to getting a pretty solid mid for your first round pick. I played with him in the past on Guam's team. Like I think it was 6 months ago. Half last week informed me that it was 6 months ago. But very fun person to play with. Pretty vocal, I think. Do you sort of experience the same thing as McGuire, a guy that you can kind of just let him do his own thing, play mid, and he'll win games for you?
Never worried about him losing mid so hard that we lose the game, and there's nothing that we can do about it. He's probably like top 5. He's easily top 5 mids in CDL right now. Just if you go based off raw MMR. He's also, I mean, he and I are just good friends outside of Dota now because we've been playing together for. When was CDL season 1? Whenever that started, that's when we got to know each other.
February?
Yeah, so been a hot minute since we've known each other.
Been a good 4 or 5 months, yeah. Jeez, it's already been 4 months. Okay, but anyways, next you had to go for Turtle King, and I guess I should mention got McGuire for 490, so not too bad. I think his max was 650, so you didn't quite have to go up to the max for McGuire there, which is
Did you
nice.
watch the draft, by the way?
Caught like half of it.
Did you see MX Squire's pick?
No.
We were both spamming during the round when he was getting drafted. We were both spamming the screenshot of him going 0-8 last season when he went for 580.
Oh my gosh. Well,
He's
I was going to save this till later, but I did want to congratulate you on not bidding one on 3 different players.
Oh, that
So,
Clutch did?
Well, that and yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna interview Bird this week, but then I'm like, I don't know how well their team's gonna do this season. So we'll see. Maybe they turn it around. But anyways, on to Turtle King. Got him for 225. I'm guessing he's your position 1 player.
Yeah, he wasn't supposed to be when I picked him, but he ended up being that.
What plan did you originally have?
Position 5, because that's his main role. I was hoping to get some low MMR core player that could just, do their job. Because ideally, if you have them with Turtle King, they're going to have a pretty good start to the lane, which is, I think, when most carries get fucked is in the early game. I feel like mid and late game decision making in a team isn't as important because you have someone calling the shots. But I ended up deciding that it's probably going to be him for position 1 for now. Yeah.
So no Nagu position 1 antics this season.
Oh, we're experimenting. That's why I said probably. The one game. Hold up, I'm finding it. I need to make sure I have the accurate stat. I don't want to mislead you here. The one game we had Onagu carry, we lost. However, Onagu went 7-8 that game. MX Guire went 7-21. So Onagu's not the reason we lost.
Yeah, it sounds like Onagu had a pretty good game, actually.
Mostly did his job. He got caught out like one time really bad, but for the most part, he did exactly what he needed to. I mean, it was a Phantom Lancer game. There's a limited skill cap to that hero, but he did his job.
So I noticed too that Turtle King actually stood in for you last season. Is that sort of when you met him, or did you know him beforehand too?
When I joined Toxic Tacos, which would have been near the start of last CDL season, he also joined because they needed a drafter shot caller, and I think they just wanted to try different position 5. So I got brought in for the first 2 criteria, and Turtle King got brought in for the other. So I had him stand in for me because I knew that he would basically do his job pretty well, and he did that game. I think. Well, yeah, I know we won because we didn't lose
Yes,
any
you
games
did.
till finals. I was about to say
It's
I
an
think we
easy
won,
guess.
but I'm like, yeah, we knew we won every game till the last two. But yeah, Turtle King's also really friendly, and he's a very he blames himself when things go wrong, but he doesn't let it tilt him. He doesn't blame anyone else, which is good.
Very good trait to have, and he actually played position 5 in both of those games. I think it was 2 games. Played position 5 in those games, which is again his normal role. 1 lanes against Uzumaki and Dark Smoke, so pretty good performance there.
Actual god game. Oh wait, and Nara was in that lane too. Oh, also he has a lot of experience laning with Nara, so that was another part of it.
That's why he's in Toxic Tacos.
Yeah, because he has experience from Toxic Tacos. That's part of why I had him stand in. I think that's what it was. We had Danny for that game.
Oh, so rigged free agent then. I see how it is.
Very rigged.
Very rigged. Okay, well, we'll jump on to third pick and Pissman. Pretty expensive for Pissman, I think. Yeah, let me pull up the right number. I have it down as 490, but that might be wrong.
No comments on Pissman.
No comment on Pissman. Okay.
I'll comment on Pissman. Did you see when I picked him in the draft?
No.
I just said in the chat, I said the truth. I am going to bid, however, the amount of money that I believe Pissman is worth. If you try to bid him up, I will not contest you, and he will be your problem now. So I put down 115, and that was the only bid on Pissman.
Very, very solid. I'm honestly really surprised that nobody else bid on him, because it feels like Pissman has had some very solid performances for you guys, especially in the games that I've casted last season. But apparently nobody else feels that way. So
people have read my player reviews. You need to know how to tame the Pissman, and I'm not even joking. You can't give him input on his hero. That's the first thing. If you give him input on his hero, he'll be wrong. You can't trust him to, like, if you're losing lane and off lane, you can't say, all right, just go do whatever gank. You got to walk him through it. But if you can micro him and you give him good heroes that he actually is good at, then he definitely has very solid performances, especially on some of the supports that I would say are not really that easy to play.
He mostly plays with the same lane with you, so that's probably pretty easy to do.
But yeah, he's also used to laning with a stupid melee strength initiator every single game.
Yeah. So the strat against your team is just ban every single melee strength initiator.
Do not do this.
That's what it sounds like to me. That's what we tried last season, except a couple different bans. But is it repeat from last season too? So you already got the mesh going.
He gets pretty mad at me a lot of the time, actually.
So is he the cause of most of the confrontation on your team too?
No, he doesn't confront anyone. He just does what he calls. Have you seen his profile picture?
I have not. I can pull it up though.
He recently changed it to a picture of the Grinch from a YouTube video called Grinch's Ultimatum. And he says that he's taken the Grinch pill, and that every time he flamed me or was toxic, he was just joking to show what it's like to be the Grinch. But now he's taking the Grinch pill, so he's not going to do it anymore. And he's just going to practice position 5 all the time. I don't know what brought this on, but this is what he says.
What?
I don't truly understand. I think he was getting kind of tilted, and so then he just said this and is no longer tilted. Oh, you know what? If it helps him.
I mean, I guess, but I don't think the Grinch took a pill. He just like gave away presents.
No, it's a YouTube video where Santa Claus comes down and offers a man the pill to become a saint or become a Grinch, and the man chooses the Grinch. It's won an Academy Award.
I see. Let me see if I can pull it up, because it's actually like the Grinch wearing a suit or something like that.
It's the Grinch's Ultimatum. It's an animation where they put a lot of effort into making it look like they put no effort in. Hold up.
Oh, I'm gonna have to go over here 1 second. We'll copy this over. Very high production quality. There we go.
PogChamp?
It's like in the middle of it. And I'm recording so you can't actually see this, but it's sort of in the middle of the screen. So.
Here's the scene in question. Oh, shit. Here's the image in question. Where
Yes.
he is offered the Saint pill or the Grinch pill, and he chose the Grinch pill.
What the fuck?
Pissman has also chosen the Grinch pill. That's what he keeps saying.
Okay. So Pissman seems to have a really good thing going, I guess.
Sorry, what was that?
Let's
Discord
see.
cut out?
He seems to have a really good mentality going for himself there. Let's see
Yeah.
how it turns out for him this season.
I'm not gonna lie. During our preseason games, it got pretty bad in the offlane. It got a little toxic. But I think we're good now. Nobody's ever toxic on any of my teams, smiley face. I'm never toxic.
So is that something you've worked on since? Have you played any games since the scrim?
Yeah, we played a game of low priority together because Onegu was in LPQ. So yes.
So your team's not quite a disaster, but it's teetering on it. It sounds like you got some LP games, you got some tilted lanes.
I think if we go 0-4 in the first 2 weeks, that the ship is gonna crash and there won't be any survivors.
So are you predicting your team to be, if you go 0-4, the first team to disband?
Yes.
That
Absolutely.
If you go 0-4 though, okay.
Yeah. I think if we win one game, we can ride that high to the end of the group stage.
Well, that's where I think your last pick comes in handy, because Onegu is like the glue that holds the team together. At least he was for our team in
That's true.
RD2L.
He's a god gamer.
Super value last pick. Didn't
Oh.
bid one on him, so that's great.
During the draft, I made it clear that the reason he's 1K is because of the solo to party MMR change. He's actually 3K, is what he was before the change. He plays at a high 3K level.
Yeah, I was looking at his MMR on the sheet, and I'm like, he is not, like, this is really underrated, but whatever.
But nobody can take him away from me because I made it public knowledge before
True.
the pick.
Very legit, very legit.
Unlike the blood contract.
But yeah, would you say that Onegu is somebody that's pretty easy to lead or at least teach? I know you're trying to get him into the core role.
Well, to be fair, he did go Midas on position 5 in one of our games, and I almost implanted my monitor in the wall when I saw it. But other than that, yeah, I mean, he definitely... other than that one instance, and to be fair, it was Scrim Week, and we were kind of playing for late game anyway, I think he never does any shit that just makes me completely question why I play Dota, you know? Like, he's pretty on point for the most part.
So you're saying there are players you play with that make you question why you play Dota?
Yeah. Some on this very team, in fact.
Well, that is the team that you drafted, so who can you blame?
I just picked 4 friends, one of whom is now Grinch build.
Okay, then. I don't know. You guys got a good mentality going, I think. Kind of related to last season again. Would you want to go undefeated again this season, or do you think it would like hurt you? You want to lose a couple of games, maybe that makes you a bit better?
We already lost 2 games.
Well, the scrim week doesn't count. It's week 0.
That's true.
Nobody cares.
Well, to be honest, I'm not worried about anyone tilting again because, well, for one thing, Mike, Turtle King, and I have a lot of experience losing officials together. But for another thing, Onegu is not a tilter, and Pissman's a bit of a tilter. But I mean, if there's just one, I think it's pretty easy to rein it in.
Awesome. Well, maybe looking at a deep playoff run. You guys did get ranked about 7th overall.
That's
So
not where I had us. Someone had us in dead last.
Let me read this really quick because I have them pulled up right now. You were dead last in Snow Gay rank.
Oh yeah, that was my own rankings.
Yeah, that was your own rankings. McGuire ranked you first. Accepted put you at 7th. Badger put you at 9. Lone Wolf put you at 7. Guam put you at 7. How does Guam put you at 7?
I was mad. He's very. I think he is a little bit upset that he went to a team besides our.
I could see that. That's calm. Turtle King, like three of your best friends. Actually, no, three people on your team gave yourself rankings, and none of them are first except for McGuire. So McGuire's the only one that actually has any kind of confidence. It seems.
He believes. He's very confident going into this season or this matchup with against Turtle.
I believe it. Turtle King again at a 3 though, so decently confident.
3?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Uh,
we're supposed to be. Did he never watch Dragon Ball Z? We're supposed to be hiding our power.
the 3 is like the hidden position though. I feel like because you're not 1, you're not the first loser.
That's true.
So we'll have to see how it plays out. I think you guys will do just fine. We'll see. There's some other teams that I think you can get some easy wins off of, and you'll make the playoffs, and we'll see what you do from there.
Well, I think playoffs are going to be 8 teams again, and there's only 9 teams. And you saw Bird's team, so I think we'll make the playoffs.
Maybe, unless you disband. That's the only thing.
That's the only thing that could hold us back from playoffs is if we just quit.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. You haven't taken my suggestion of doing double elimination bracket yet, but that's for another day.
With 8 teams, I think if it's going to be 2 best of ones a week, I thought it might be doable.
To be honest, I don't think it would work with so little teams, but
That's true.
maybe at some point.
I also kind of personally, if I got eliminated, I wouldn't even want to play 2 best of ones a week if I lost the upper bracket. So that's the other side of it. But it is doable.
True.
You can ping Badger about here. I'll do it right now.
Okay. Sounds like a plan. All right. While Snow takes care of that, we're gonna switch gears to the final part of the show, the fun part, the part that doesn't matter. Dota Buff / Open Dota Quiz. I'm not sponsored by either of them, so I should probably stop using their names, but they're not incorporated, I'm pretty sure, so it doesn't matter.
What is happening now?
I'm gonna ask you questions about your Dota Buff or Open Dota stats, and you're gonna have to try
Do not look at my
and
Open
answer
Dota.
them.
You are not allowed to look at my word cloud.
I looked at it, and it looked like similar to everybody else's. The most is just GG.
Oh, when I was 16, when I was 17, back in my wild days, I may have dropped a few words I shouldn't have dropped back in the day that are still,
damn.
if you look really hard, still on my word cloud.
You should. They're probably pretty small, so you might be fine. I don't know. Just don't run for office one day.
Imagine.
Avoid doing that.
I will. All right, let's go questions.
All right. You sound like you're ready. We're gonna jump right in. What is your record for most kills in a game?
Yeah, I think it's like 42 is Ricky.
It is as Ricky, but the number's off. I'll give you one more guess on that. It is 48 on Ricky. I believe it was like, was this 3 years ago? Hour and 10 minutes though, and you ended up losing the game. So
yeah, a bunch of my records are from games I played with my really bad 1K MMR friends, which is so they go long enough that I have really high records and then we lost.
Feels bad. That's what feels really bad, is setting a record in a losing game. All right, second question. Over all of your Dota games, how many kills have you amassed?
Oh, that's a good question. Huh.
It is it's above 10,000. I'll give you that hint at least.
I don't even know how many games I've played. Like 4,500 maybe.
I can give you the amount of games too. Hold on one second. So you've played this is in pub games too, so it doesn't count esports matches. But the amount of games with stats recorded is 5,400.
5,400. I'm going to say around like 20,000, 25,000 kills.
Ooh, try double that almost exactly. You're at 50 grand right
What
now.
the fuck? Oh, I guess I did used to play mid in like 1K bracket where you would have one game where you go like 0 and 10, then one game where you go like 20. Good old.
Yeah, I mean that's a solid like 10 kills per game. So
Where are the haters at now?
yeah, that's a almost CDL season winner right there. That's the kind of kill score you gotta have. All right. Third question: what is your highest win rate hero?
Night Stalker?
That's close. I'll give you one more guess on that one. It is a core.
Well, it's certainly not a fucking support when it comes to me. It might be Leshrac.
That's you're missing. Well, we'll go from 4 to 1 because you did guess 2 of them. So it's Leshrac at 69%. It is Night Stalker at 71%, Zeus at 71%, and number 1 is Spectre at 73%. A hero you haven't played for like, what is this, a year, I think?
Yep.
And then your Techies is actually number 5 somehow with 68% win rate. I don't know.
Play like JTK.
That's probably a good strat for winning games. So, all right. Fourth question. What is the most amount of rapiers you have bought in a single game?
I want to say like 2.
So it's 3, but it's weird, and I'll link it to you.
Okay.
You have 3 separate games where you bought 3 rapiers in the same game, all 3 years ago, all on Ember Spirit.
Yep.
I'm not sure what was happening.
Did I end any of them with a rapier in my inventory?
Probably not, because you lost every single match. But
first one rapier. Okay, so I can tell you what was happening with this actually. So I was. This is like when there was that event where you had to like win a bunch of games as Ember to get the special Ember headpiece or whatever. For I think it was like Shanghai Major or some shit. And I was doing the physical Ember build, but I was playing with my bad friends. So I kept getting super farmed to getting 3 rapiers. I kept getting like a rapier, 2 Daedalus, a Battle Fury. This was the old when physical Ember was the only build people did, and also I was bad anyway. So yeah, I kept getting rapiers, and then I would die once, and then they would get like a rapier or 2. So I just keep buying more rapiers. But yeah, that's what was happening there.
yeah, I mean, you did end the game a couple of times with the rapier, so
My team always lets me down.
never all 3 though, unfortunately. So
That makes sense. I think it might be literally less average damage if you have a rapier instead of the Daedalus.
I'm pretty sure. Well, a couple of games you do have both. Like you went 2 Daedalus, 1 rapier.
Yeah, I see that in the one I clicked on. And no BKB. Classic.
Yep, you got a Lincoln Sphere though, so some protection. But of course, this game is 73 minutes long. All right, last question. In esports games, what is the most commonly picked hero when you are on the team?
Not the most played hero for me.
Yeah, it's just what's the most commonly picked hero when you're on the team.
Just heroes that are picked on my team?
Yes.
I'm the drafter for all the teams, so I should really know this. Huh. Because I've been the drafter for basically every team I play on except for Torn first pick coming through. I'm going to guess that it's a support first. And what support do I like having in literally every game? It's not going to be one of the really new ones like Dark Willow or Grim.
There's 2 of them that are pretty high up there, and they're super close together.
I want to say Jakiro.
Jakiro is one of them. Can you guess the other?
Oh, this is difficult. Don't think it's Ogre.
It is not Ogre.
Okay, because that's another one that I picked, but I think I've only started picking that recently with like the multicast.
And you actually, hold on a sec. You have 22 games where you picked ogre. Jakiro is at 45, and there's one hero above the Jakiro.
Ooh. It's probably a really bad hero that I shouldn't be picking that much. I really don't know. I'm just gonna say fucking Winter Wyvern, dude. I picked that hero in a lot when
Uh, it is Earthshaker, and you've only picked winner like 14 times.
Oh my god,
47 picks.
how could I forget Earthshaker? I used to literally only play Earthshaker.
Yeah, the 47 picks on the Earthshaker, decent win rate too. 60% through 47 games is pretty solid. So.
Oh yeah, my Earthshaker back in the day was unstoppable. Back in what was it? I think it's the hero that I had like the highest win rate on in esports games for a really long time. Because when I started playing RD2L, I was like 3K, and my logic was I should just be, if I can play like one hero at a 4K level, then I just need to play that hero, and nobody banned Earthshaker until everybody banned Earthshaker.
Until everybody realizes you play Earthshaker and that's it.
Yeah, but the thing is, it was offlane Earthshaker. And can you guess which ability I maxed first?
I would assume your E.
Objective, that would be the correct choice. However, that is not what I did. I maxed Fisher as position 3 Earthshaker.
Okay, I could see doing that. I could justify doing that as position 4, but yeah.
Yeah, it's. I did it because I watched the replay of TI5, the last game of Grand Finals, and that's at Universe. And I literally did not change my build for 2 years after that.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, I guess.
It worked. How many times is it banned against me? Do we have that stat? No, it doesn't I banned it.
I'd have to go counter picks, but yeah, I can pull that up really quick.
I feel like Brewmaster is going to be my most banned. Holy shit.
It is Brewmaster.
Yeah, it's
71
really,
times.
It's really Brewmaster. If my Earthshaker was unstoppable, my Brewmaster. See, I'm actually getting mad now. I fucking hate the new Brewmaster. I think Cinder Brew is the worst spell in the entire game, both in terms of how effective it is and from a game design standpoint.
We just need a new patch, dude.
I used to be an unstoppable Brewmaster. That was my hero after Earthshaker. Now I play like 2 heroes kind of okay and no heroes really well.
It's Night Stalker and Sand King.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Those are the only 2 good offlaners right now, supposedly. So.
That's what Jenkins says. You know, can't even pull that on me because I was playing Night Stalker when he was considered shit tier.
You were, actually, before he got the buff to the damage.
And I'm not playing him now that he's good because everyone bans.
Because you're a Dota hipster. I do that sometimes too. It's totally fair.
I'm gonna forcibly bring Necro position 3 back into the meta. I'm a trendsetter.
Good.
I was playing. You know what? I was playing Brewmaster when he was awful too. Then he became meta, and then they reworked him, and then I stopped playing him.
That's how it goes. I was playing Clockwork off lane, and now the hero's completely dead. So
imagine. Bro, he got wasn't that? Didn't they give him some change? It was super bad. It doesn't even matter. I'm thinking of Ursa, who got plus 25 magic.
Yeah. The other hero that I used to play a lot in the offlane was Tusk, but Tusk is just kind of
man of culture.
God, dude.
I used to run that combo. I have a friend who I have 500 games with, and I'm sure about 50 of those are just Tusk Centaur dual offlane.
Oh god, that's cancer. You could probably do that nowadays, though. I would imagine.
I think it'd probably be better if anything. With tag team and retaliate reworks, seems pretty good. That's neither here.
All right. Anyways, that's all I got. Is there any closing thoughts? Any thoughts about the season in general, the future ahead?
If we lose this season, last season I said if we didn't get top 4, I'd kill US Danny, but we got top 4. This season, if we don't get top 1, I'll kill US Danny.
Okay, setting the bar high. I don't know if that bar is high for you or US Danny though, so we'll see. I'll have to wait till everything plays out. Should make the playoffs. Just don't disband, and you'll be fine.